Right, that should be going. Is anyone tuning in after the fact? Yeah, we're not going to do Doom 2 yet, because there's something I want to do before I do it. And I figured I'd just do it on the stream, because no one's ever really around at the start. So we're actually going to do some live benchmarking. You might notice I'm in the dark, because the machine's got its lid off. And, well, there's two things I want to test. I want to turn off parity RAM and see if Doom stops crashing, but the other thing I want to do is I want to benchmark this system with parity turned off. At the moment it's turned on. So what we're going to do is we're going to... Oh no, that'll start safe mode in Windows 95. But what we're going to do is we're going to start this machine with... Oh no, it won't. It won't because it's set not to be... high mem's running, that's not good. But it doesn't matter. This isn't going to be consistent with the benchmarks on the other channel, because it's in a different configuration. And there's a SCSI card in there, and that's going to hurt it. I don't know why, but I've noticed you get a drop in performance. So this is with parity RAM. I'm going to keep notes of this. Where's one of my tables? It doesn't matter. We'll just jot it down as is. 3dB. And we'll see what it does. And then we're going to turn parity off, and we're going to test again, and then we're going to start Doom. So 92.7. I can't remember what the scores were on the other channel. I could look them up, but it doesn't really matter for this test. I just want to see if parity speeds the system up, and I also want to, like, you know, turn it off speeds the system up slightly, and I want to see if Doom keeps crashing with it turned off. But yeah, this Max 64 isn't going to be as fast as the Trio we were testing with before. It's a very Windows-oriented card, the Max 64, and it's very good at Windows. I've got to just make sure... Yeah, for once my microphone is actually working, that's good. So this is a PC player, PCP 30.6. And now I put a tab so we just come back later. Top. If you're really quick, you might see that I have shitty ballad lyrics in this thing. 242, yeah, we're not losing points in top bench, that's for sure. Stomach. Speed sys. Well, we could have a look. I'm not really interested in the CPU scores and shit, but we'll write them down. But like I say, it doesn't really matter. L1, L2, TM. What we'll do is we'll put MB there. 154, MT. Whatever it comes out as. Oh, we'll have VM as well, which is about 16 megs, seems about right for a Mac 64. So let's see what these come out. It shouldn't take too long. I can't remember what the average time is for these tests to complete. I know it's something, but I'm not certain. I'm not 100%. But yeah, like I said, we're going to do this, then do it again. It'll be interesting to see if it affects the Doom benchmark performance. I'm not going to bother testing Quake, because I'm really confident that it's not going to affect the scoring Quake at all. Quake hits a weird bottleneck on machines. I know where Backtech found that as well, somewhere, where, you know, he couldn't get the score to change in Quake, no matter what he did. It just seemed to go at that speed on that machine. I've seen it on a few as well. So, yeah, it's not doing my level 2 cache for some reason. That's okay, that's not a problem. We know the cache works on this thing, but it's probably because high mem's running or something, I would be my guess. 63 megs per second is memory throughput. So, yeah, I'll just put a dash in L2. And we only have Doom left to do, and then my crappy menu's probably going to overflow anyway, because I didn't write it very well, and it's got 64k to work in. I think spewing ballad lyrics into the console maybe overflows that limit, and it does stupid things, basically. It's kind of unusual in this board that the parity jumper is, well, a jumper. Oh, shit. I had to blow on the TV card because it needs a fan to cool it, and with the lid off it's not getting cooled properly. So 1214 for Doom, which isn't half bad if I do say so myself. And now we're going to test again without parity. There you go, look, my fucking menu overflowed. That's fine, there's no disk activity, we just turned the machine off. It's quite difficult to get to this jumper, but I think I can do it. So I'm just going to pull it off and I'll stick the lid back on, we'll test the thing again. Now I'm not going to stick the lid back on with the machine running, even though that would be faster, because I've caught the back of a motherboard doing that once, and I don't want to, you know, risk it. It probably wouldn't happen, but yeah, I'd rather not. And unfortunately I am going to have to screw this on, because it doesn't sit well. But we'll just put 2 screws in for now, and I can put the rest of them back in later on. I don't want to pull the stream back too much. But I don't know, I just figured it'd be interesting to test it on the stream, especially because I don't know, I always get the impression people don't believe me when I say about id games don't run right on my machines and shit. So you can see I'm actively trying to make it run properly. And we're also getting an answer to something that I didn't really have time to test when I did that video on the main channel. So, yeah, now we'll find out once and for all, won't we? Of course, a lot of the machines I have don't run parity, so I don't imagine it's going to solve the crashing issue at all. Turn it off, but yeah, this case really isn't a good fix. It's not the original lid, you see. Somebody's done something weird with this chassis in the past. Very strange with it, and I'm kind of miffed that they painted over it in grey. I'd like to sandblast that off, because it had no zinc coating, and I actually think it looks really cool, just the bare metal. It looks really shit the way they've painted it. I know why they've done it, because it probably looks like crap underneath. It's probably rusty, because there's like bubbles in the paint. And I'm like, yeah, you've painted over rust. I knew they were screwing me when I bought it, but I wanted this chassis for years, because the first PC, at least my branch of the family had an uncle who had a PC since the 80s. It was in this model of chassis. I don't think it had the turbo display on it though. It really doesn't fit right, but it's good enough that it'll stop the system setting fire. So what we'll do is we'll run those tests again really fast, now with parity disabled, and then we'll start the fucking game up. I think I've lost a headphone. I must have knocked that out. There we go. Let's just bash F5 once we get past the SCSI configurator, which you can't see, the SCSI BIOS, I mean. You don't need to go in the configurator, it's all configured the way it needs to be. I'm surprised I've still got the logo on, I usually turn that off. There we go. I only pressed that twice. I don't know if this keyboard's malfunctioning. It just pull it out and stick it back in again. There might be a bit of crud in the connector. It's very loose on this board, that keyboard, so I don't... Right, let's test again. See if that affects the score at all. It might actually make it worse, which would be weird, because I think it should be an improvement, but it's not having to do parity checks on the memory. But who does? It does offer a 0.1 improvement here, which is within the margin for error, most certainly, but that's not too memory heavy. This, on the other hand, does seem to be affected by the memory, so we might see a change here. Obviously I haven't changed anything in the BIOS or anything, all the timings and shit are the same. I mean, we're going to lose performance either way, because, like I said, the Max 64's in here, and that's not as fast in DOS as the Trio 32. That Trio 32 is like Matrox fast. I don't know what video image did to the thing, but yeah, it's faster than it really should be. I have no idea why. It was like I said, Mac 64s are kind of Windows cards, very good in Windows, but you lose a couple of points in DOS, which is absolutely fine. It's good enough, it does it. You're not really going to notice that. I wouldn't have thought. Maybe if you're hammering the machine, but if you're hammering the fuck out of the machine, you should probably be using something more powerful anyway. Of course, I would know all about this with my tendency to go in with things that are horribly underpowered. Then just try maxing everything out. Fucking Realms of the Haunting on that Pentium, and it just drags its fucking... hangs its bag out half the time because everything's on high detail and it's not really how to do that. And the SCSI cards hurting performance, as it will be in here. That's going to be killing a few points for us as well. The CPU speed won't have changed. No, it hasn't. 121.41. They didn't write decimals for any of these. Although that is slightly faster the memory bandwidth, but only by a slight fraction if memory serves correctly. I wonder if it'll read the L2 cache this time. Because like I say, I know the cache is on, so... I don't know why, like, SpeedSys ain't picking it up. I would imagine it's because we've got high mem loaded, it's going to be skewing the scores a little bit. But like I say, it doesn't matter for the sake of what we're doing here, and we are doing this quickly because I want to play the fucking game. Also, I think I've got no sound on the... right on my headphones there. I can fix that when... yeah. 2-2. Yeah, fuck, man, we've actually lost a bit of speed on the L1 cache. Otherwise, the scores look pretty much the same. We only have Doom left to test. So I don't think parity's hitting performance that hard. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see if Doom keeps crashing. Personally, I think it will. Just because, like I said, most of my other machines don't have parity and it still crashes on them. I mean, that 486 certainly doesn't. But it would be interesting if it did fix it in this case, because it would imply the game was corrupting something in RAM. It's like one tick less, it's within the margins for error, so I don't think parity's affecting performance negatively on this system. But now we know. Oh, I don't know about that, it'll probably get me shut down if I do that, man. Maybe in the summer when it's too warm I will, but not today. It's not very warm in here, it's cold. I don't think people need to see my nipples being packed up. Anyway, there we go. We've tested that. We know we're not losing points to having the parity enabled, so let's try Doom with parity disabled and see maybe it'll be more stable. I don't think it will, but be prepared for fixing these headphones. Yeah, not today, man. But well, there's your answer. We didn't fix the stability problems whatsoever, so it's not parity RAM. Doom isn't corrupting the memory. That sucks. It didn't take long to crash. Now, like I said, if you try coming back in summer, and I just might, because I can't stand being warm, but I'm not doing it today. There you go, that's a live diagnosis of a problem, and we've diagnosed that the problem is beyond my control, so now I feel a lot better about it. Now, if only the game had let us play it. Now, there is another thing I've done. I've actually turned down the timings for the memory and the cache, like, at some point. I don't even remember when I did it. I actually think I did that before I played the game last time in the hopes it would improve stability. You ought to have broken it completely by disabling parity. I don't remember what this level's called. Blood Falls, apparently. I've never heard of it, so it's not really helping me. It's a very empty looking room. I don't remember which way we started facing. Oh well. That way, I guess. Oh, for fuck's sake, really? That's not a good start. They need to fuck off with that shit. Like, why doesn't this game have protective boots? Or, well, it has the suit, I guess, but it's not an inventory item like the boots in Duke Nukem, which protect you when you're swimming in the stuff as well. I've never quite understood that. Howdy, lame guy. But yeah. Oh, right, apparently I'm low on health. Oh, fucking... You know, I think we've made it worse by turning parity off. That's twice in as many minutes. Hang on, that hasn't gone out. If it keeps crashing, I'm not sure what we're going to do. I guess I'd have to break the Pentium out again. Because that thing always works. It shouldn't. It's the one machine that should never work. Because it's... Turn that around. Because it's just so complicated, and it's on a platform that is notorious for not really working very well. So in reality, it shouldn't work very well. Well, it depends on what you classify as poor. I mean, some people would probably jack off to Doom, or heaven forbid would jack off to me, but, which is fine. I wouldn't mind if they did. I'd be quite flattered. Seems my suspicions about that were correct. There's nothing in here. What's the point in... I guess, but it is... Is this really a server board? I don't know that ECS were ever really in the server market. Did I just shoot the door open? Oh god, there's caca demons. Shit. That was a waste. That was also a waste. Oh, what the fucking hell? I don't use DOSBox, there's no fun in using DOSBox. It'd probably still crash anyway. In-games don't run on my systems. I don't really know why. See, there's a key over there. It would be up there, wouldn't it? Plus, I don't get the music like that in DOSBox. Like, all I get in DOSBox is crappy AdLib emulation. I don't want crappy AdLib emulation. It's boring. Oh, yeah, man, that fucking... Right, I'm saving the game now. Yeah, better give me one of those. I don't know how to get up there. Dirty thrift bites. No, there's just something missing in emulation. I have nothing against emulation, you know. Hang on, is this a fucking trap? Can I not get out of here? I shouldn't have saved the fucking game, should I? Oh, that was a mistake. I'll just id clip back up there if I have to. It's looking like we're going to have to, isn't it? Well, we know we can get in the one on the left. There's nothing in there. But what the fuck was that? I just got pushed back. That happened last time, where I got bounced off or something. I don't think... Okay. But, fucking hell, what? This level sucks. I'm disappointed. That last map, the chasm, was really good. And now the levels are going to suck again. This wouldn't be a bad level if it wasn't for everything in it damaging me. But everything damages it. Fucking hell. I can't even... It's forgotten my... No, it's remembered my gamma settings. It's the only time it's ever done it. Oh, I've had enough of this. That's not what I pressed. Oh. Keyboard got stuck then. this is where you could do with a little bit more resolution. Yeah, it's Blood Falls, apparently. It means nothing to me. I haven't played this game in well over a decade, and I don't remember anything about it, so I don't know if I ever even bothered completing this one. And I don't think I missed out if I didn't. I'll rocket that bastard because he's annoying me. Should I go in there? Yeah. No game, I said I wanted to go in there. It's way too dark. Can't see shit. They must have gone to the CK 3D School of Level Design. So as it's a maze, I'm sort of following it to one side. There's a teleporter there. I don't know where that goes. Oh, fucking... This place is so empty. What is the point in this area? What is the point in most of the areas in the maps in here? We got fucking ammo, so I guess it wasn't a total loss coming in here. Yeah, that teleporter's the only thing in here. What a pointless area. At least it doesn't have a bunch of shit just to sap our resources like it normally does. Oh, that's convenient. I'm not stood on the... Oh, fucking hell, really? This fucking game, man. This fucking game. I think... I'm not sure, but I did. Okay. I don't know what's down that other fucking hole. Maybe hopefully I don't have to go down there. That would be nice. I'm not going 100% on this. Like, I know for a fact I missed a secret level earlier. I don't know where the other one is, because I know there's two of them. So, yeah, we're probably not going to find the other one either. I'm not even going to try. If I happen to stumble across it, I'll go in there, but that's the most we're getting on that. That was a bit rough. Can I collect that through there? No, I can't. I'm going to say, what's going to be in here? Oh, fucking really? You know what? I can't be bothered. Get out of here. There we go. Oh, how did he get away with it? Come on, this is fucking me up. Get off me. Get off me. The reload and the weapon switch animation in this game is so fucking slow. Well, it's been annoying me forever. I wouldn't be taking anywhere near as much damage if it wasn't for that. And let's not assume the invisibility is going to work, because we know it doesn't work. We know it's pointless and it doesn't help whatsoever. I don't know why they left it in. It didn't work in the first game, and yet they still dotted it all over this one. I mean, you heard everything. I can't see anything in there. Well, that's not good. Oh man, we're all the way back here. Of course. Of course, why wouldn't we be? Let's get damaged by the floor and by some water now. Again, that's just fucking delightful, isn't it? So you have to walk over this shit. I'm not wasting my time playing those. Fuck that. I don't like these ones. Why the fuck would I want to play that? I don't imagine it's very interesting. It's probably just a generic corridor shooter like everything else. I mean, I remember seeing the trailer and all I could see was brown, basically. But it's not a challenge. I explained this last time. There's a difference between a challenge and just making the player take damage because you felt like it. It's like, you can't come up with a legitimate challenge, so you just fucking make the player take damage, or the challenge is based on how shit the controls are or something. There's a lot of that in these games. That's one of the reasons I don't like them. Of course. Oh, now it doesn't track towards him. That's interesting. I didn't know enemies could spawn through walls. So he was facing away from me. He really shouldn't have woke up there. Just from me being in his line. Hang on, they can get in there. I can't even go in there. That's bullshit, and fuck the invisibility. I gotta say, there's no point me trying to avoid that, is there? Absolutely not. Why would there ever be? I really hate these things. Whoever came up with those, I hate them. Let's try chainsawing this one. Yeah, apparently that's a thing you can do. I guess those spawned out of bounds or something. Can I go back and get some of them med kits? I don't know what I can hear R in. Something's awake and something's not happy with us, but... Well, it's just going to have to sit back there and grunt about it, because I'm not going to go and have... Why is there a staircase here? Like, seriously, why is there a staircase there? What a weird design decision, like... A staircase that leads to an elevator that leads back up to the... Did they just copy and paste a bit out of, like, a different map that they built or something for that? Is that what that is? This whole area is weird when you think about it. This bit serves no purpose. What a weird design. It definitely feels like you've walked into another map here. Yeah, he's not going down with it. The thing is, there's no point. I think it's more just lazy level design. There's no point in trying to avoid them fucking arch vials, because every time I duck behind shit I get hit anyway, so... That was a colossal waste. Oh, fuck you, him. Of course, it takes about... You know what, I'm going to count next time. Let's see how long it takes to switch weapon. Where's my timers? Is there something I can look at? Here we go, I got a counter here. It takes about 1.5 seconds to change weapon, by my count. Which is utterly ridiculous in a game where the fucking bulk of it is use of weapons. Except when they decide it wants to be a platformer. With no jump buttons and no look buttons. Because that's sensible design. So I just don't understand why people can never quite figure out why I despise id Software and all the shit they made. When it's just full of things like that. Like, it should be obvious. Like, it's not a challenge, it's a poor design decision. It's a rookie mistake. Well, that was a disappointment, because I liked the level that we went on before that one. The Chasm was really good. Bloodfalls is fucking awful. It's not the worst, but it's pretty fucking awful, let's be honest. Okay, it just didn't sound right to me then, the music, but it's fine. It's another area that almost feels like it really doesn't belong. It's another level that they just named the fast... Fucking hell, really? The first thing that came to mind, and it's going to look nothing like what it claims to be. Oh, that's a key door, I can tell from here. I'm not going that way. What was that? That wasn't a good noise. No, I mean, you can always just drill the holes, but... Alternatively, I guess you can just pull the fucking socket off and stick a header there. There's even headers where the actual layout is designed to plug onto there, because some board makers just put the header in place of the actual port, so they could build it both ways. I don't hold up any hopes for anything this game's going to throw at me at this point, because we know the first one at the end went right downhill, so... And it weren't that great to start with. I don't imagine this is going to be an exception. I reckon the chasm's an exception to the rule, and apparently everybody else hates that level anyway. Oh, there's the exit. So yellow key is what we need, and it's going to be non-linear because we're going to be coming back here. We've got a red key, but it's so close to the red door that I have to wonder why it really needed to be there, aside from forcing combat. Yeah, you see, I don't mind those, but Hexen I've never beat. It's too hard for me, that game. But the thing with Hexen, it's a legit challenge, and I'm just not good enough to do it, so that I'm not mad at Hexen for that. It's just built in a way that I find difficult. I can't walk through there, apparently. Of course, damage floors. And fucking fart flingers, why not? Why would we not have fart flingers? Okay, well, at least it restores our health. That's thoughtful level design, which isn't particularly common in here. Really? What's even in there? Probably just death. I don't know where that... There he is. Fucking key tag, man. Fucking, that must be one that they built in store, I guess. I mean, they used to do that, as far as I remember. Oh, now there's a fucking floor here. It's a bit late for that game. I miss Keytech. It was a good shop, and it was cheap. And plus the fact I knew the manager, so I used to get shit for free. Like, I've still got fans I got from there without ever paying for them. Yeah, it was, you don't get shops like that anymore, but then I guess they've all been taxed out of existence anyway in this city, so... figures. I often wonder if the original Scarborough shop's still there. I know the one we had, they moved on to the industrial estate and then they fucked off to Bridlington, but I don't think that one's there anymore. These projectiles are a bit shit, really, aren't they? They just sort of spray out. It's like watching a girl trying to piss in a urinal. It's just pathetic. Yeah, one of the worst things they ever did was getting rid of the top deck. That's where all the interesting shops were. It even had a smell about it up there. I always remember going up the escalator every Saturday just to go to Keytech. And you always had that smell of cigarettes and hot dogs and the oil from the escalators just wafting up. But then you had that cafe, like, on the opposite side to where the escalators were, where they had, like, donuts and shit. You could look out over the shopping centre. I quite liked it in there. Oh, I've got a yellow key. I can exit. You know what, this level hasn't been too bad so far. It's had a bit of damage floor bullshit, but it's not terrible. I don't mind this level, it's alright, it gets a pass. It's not the worst. But it's not the best either. Now what's it going to do to me? It just looks awful, that does it. Can this game have multiple parallax skies, I wonder? Like, was that different? It doesn't have a sky in it. I wonder. I have to wonder. Maybe I'll have to check that at some point. Because you do that in Duke 3D, you can have... Apparently it's not the exit. It is now. I don't know why it didn't like. Maybe you have to stand in one specific part of it. Sloppy level design. Would have killed the level designer to drag that like, you know, wall just to get a few units out to the side. Yeah. Thing is, I remember when I was a kid, you'd never be allowed to do this now, and I don't know if you ever saw the thing. It'd be cool if you did, because no one else I ever spoke to remembers it. But they had this forklift you could go on. It had like a load of I-beam with Chevron on it just bolted into the floor. And it had a little mini battery-powered forklift and a few crates in it that you could sit on and ride around and actually move the crates and shit. I remember going on it when I was a kid. And then it was just always out of order after that. And then it disappeared. I think it got moved briefly to where Virgin ended up being. Because I remember it being there, a bunch of windows on one of the lower floors. So I think it was where the overhanging bit used to be in Virgin. Before that was there. It didn't last. I guess health and safety nuts probably killed it pretty fast. Oh, for fuck's sake. Yeah, fucking that thing was cool. Like, I want one. I might just maybe I'll build one someday. To be honest, it was a really neat piece of kit. But as I say, you'd never be allowed to do something like that now. Somebody would file a fucking lawsuit. My kid lost his finger in your fucking forklift because I'm an irresponsible parent. My kid's a retard and he stuck his finger in there. But okay, we got the key. That's good. Let's get out of here before anything else goes wrong. I shouldn't be running like this. You know, I wonder if you can make it across there. Probably not. No, you can't. But it had to be tried. Come on. I'm not hanging about to kill him. I'm not doing 100% in this game. See, that's another one of them moments where it's like, if you played with a mouse, things would be a lot easier. It probably does, and I think turning parity off has made it worse. And I can't bother to take the lid off and turn it back on. Now, what's smoke yet? I'll save it for now. This game's literally cancer at this point because it makes me smirk. Oh well, this just looks delightful. It's very brown. This is just like that new Doom game. But, oh, for fuck's sake, really? You want fucking more, do you? Okay. Well, there's some more. I don't know how none of their shots landed on me. They really should have done when you think about it, but I won't complain. I like this song, it's good. Yeah, there was supposedly a Duke Nukem level called Roach Condo that don't know if it actually existed or if it's just like a placeholder name they stuck at the end of the con file. See, any user map is technically episode 1 level 8 in Duke Nukem 3D. How did I know? Don't ask me how I knew, I just knew. It's just the feeling this map gave me that it's going to be a bunch of bashing random walls or some shit. I wouldn't have known that invisible dude was there if the imp hadn't have hit him. I heard an elevator or something go somewhere. What? I've just been in here. Oh god, so it's a case of doing laps around specific places as well. That's not going to get old. That's not going to get annoying fast at all. I don't think I'm going to like this level. Oh, that didn't do what I wanted it to do. Oh, what's up here? Maybe this shit up here. Yeah, I remember there being arcade machines about. Not very well, I don't remember what they were, but I remember them being there. There's a door there. There won't be anything up here, will there? Because no stack sectors. Now, is that there because would I be able to activate that switch from here? I wonder. Because, I mean, you can bump into things that are below you, so in theory you should probably be able to activate switches that are a long ways down. He sounds like shocked to see that we're there. He goes, it's that guy! He killed my friends! Now do you see the problem with everything being brown? I didn't even notice he was there. Like, the imps are fucking camouflaged. I don't remember what that does. Oh, now it's invulnerability, that, isn't it? I'd better leave it, because I might need the fucking thing. I don't know what any of these things are doing. I still didn't flip the stereo direction, which is quite confusing. I'm going to fix that now. Hold on. This is the channel 4 we're on. Let's see it. Fucking fix this. Oh, that didn't sound good. Go on, get in there, you bastard. I hate these massive jacks that audio equipment use. The hell's happened here? Piece of shit fucking murder core mixer. Random switches and brown walls, nobody knows where the fuck any of this goes. See, I got a K62 Plus, it was dead on arrival. I'll probably order another one at some point, but I'm not that bothered because I don't want to use it like permanently. I just wanted to see how it compared to the regular K6. And I was just going to put the regular K6 in because even if it offers an improvement, I'd just use the Athlon by then if I wanted that kind of performance. Oh, fucking really? Oh, fuck off. Right, can we have the lights on in here now, please, game? Because I can't fucking see what I'm doing. That's not the way I thought I was facing. Dude, fuck, you see, it's dangerous in this kind of light levels. So you just can't see those walls are there. Oh, I'm not worried about that. My K6, regular K62 will go up to 600, but I'm just not bothered about doing things like that. I don't know, I just have no reason to, basically. I mean, like I said, I got the Athlon there, so if I want it to go that much faster, I'll just use that. Fucking wall. I got a key, but I don't know what it does. Where am I even supposed to be going here? So I know that shit's like night vision or something, but I don't want to waste it. Ridiculous level design. Yeah, a lot of people seem to forget that they were celery competitors, the K6. I mean, sometimes you can keep up with Pentium 3, but only on like a very rare occasion in like some very specific application. Hang on, so if I came here without this key, would I be trapped? Probably not. This probably leads me back up there. It does, that's what that hole's for. So they can think of things like that, but then this doesn't look fun. I'm going up here. I'm not going down there. It looks dangerous. Probably. I mean, they're pretty good at DOS games, K6s. Because, like, sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes mine will outrun, like, the Pentium 2 in DOS. So they kind of hold their own there. What does that... Oh, that's good. That's what I want. That is a pointless power-up. This thing moved, didn't it? It did. Oh, for fuck's sake. Really? They're not too difficult to take down, those guys. There's another one of these. I'm going to save that, because I'm probably going to need it. I wonder what that does. Probably nothing. That doesn't seem to go... I'm just going to save and assume everything's fine. Alright. Well, what was the point in picking? Don't waste that. That made the screen go green. Oh man, I shouldn't have saved there, should I? Oh fuck. That's just typical, isn't it? The moment I save is the moment that, like, you know, I can't fucking advance anymore. It'll be some obscure fucking panel I've missed, I'm sure. You know, some of Blood's really early textures resemble these, like the skull texture on the base there. I'm getting better than not a broke. There we go. It's what they're so fucking rare, shootable panels. You forget they're there. For fuck's sake, are you really still doing this so late in the game? Are we really still putting mandatory damage floors in? And it's probably a maze, isn't it? So, you know what? No, I won't. It's short enough. I thought it was going to be a maze, so I was going to id clip so we weren't technically standing in the sector, and therefore wouldn't take damage. Now, why would it want invulnerability here? What am I not privy to here? Well, these guys aren't so bad. But they're all bark and no bite, these things. These Rembrandts. Except when that happens, then they're not so much, because the missiles home in on me. But I can hear things going bang every time I walk around here. Similarly, all bark and no bite, these guys. Because there's just... their projectiles are slow. Well, this ain't going too bad. I still don't like the level though. I still think it's fucking horrible. I guess I just don't have the mindset for Doom games. Whatever other people see in them, it's just... I'm not seeing it. It's wasted on me. Oh, it's one of these fucking fuckheads. Oh, fuck. I'd be happy if I never saw another one of these flaming skulls ever again. Fucking fiery redheads. Die. There we go, we've got fucking... Oh yeah, of course, there's always a straddler, isn't there? Get down here then, come on. You know, I'm not playing with you. You want to fuck about with the skull, you do that. I'm just gonna do what I do down here. I don't see any med kits around. I'm just gonna take this. That's mine now. Thank you. There's a red key to the exit. It looks... Fuck! Now I'll smoke. I tried to fix it. You saw at the start of the stream. I tried to fix the problem. Only Doom that does this. Nothing else does this. We played through the entirety of Duke Nukem 3D on this machine and I don't think it crashed once. Idcot fucking code worth shit. Yeah, I don't know. There's nothing wrong with my machine. It's just id games don't run on my machines because id can't fucking code. I'm used to it. Everything else works, so... Oh no, who was it who told me about this map? I think it was Kynakos said it. Everybody hates this. And then again, everybody hates the chasm, and I like that one, so... I got pushed back then. See if it does it again. No. No, it seems to be like a rare thing that happens sometimes. It takes so long to switch weapon. I know that was like moments ago that happened, but it takes too long. Especially if it's in its reloading animation, you just can't change it. So if I go down there, I can't get back up, can I? I'll be fine, let's just go down here, fuck it. Yeah, a bunch of damaging floors, I don't doubt. I don't think so, because I think there's like 30 levels, so we're 2 levels away from done. I don't remember that even being a thing, but I guess it must be. Oh, it's one of these guys, yeah. Oh, fucking hell, really? The randomizer had to fuck us that hard. It just had to, didn't it? It couldn't help it. Do these guys go into, like, a kind of arc state when you're hitting them? How long's the screen going to stay red? I'm just going to fucking write that off as a bad job and try again. I know their attack's visibility based, but every time I go somewhere they can't see me, I end up taking damage anyway, so there's no point in trying. We tried that on the other level, I still got blown up every time. Either way, I'm going after him first. So I was nowhere within range of that, you fucking moron. Oh, come off it, I'm not even close. What's in here? Nothing, I can't go in there. Fucking hell, it worked for once. So much fucking damage though. It really is trash, this game. It really is just absolute low-life scumbag shit that it pulls at every opportunity. And it's never based on fucking challenge. It's always based on shit game mechanics or broken game mechanics or non-existent game mechanics been the fucking challenge. And there's nothing down here, and I don't know how to get out of here, so it wasn't worth coming down here. But you know how that goes. If I get stuck down here, I'll just clip my way back up. It seems to work that way, but it's like, yeah, visibly interesting when it's a bunch of big empty sectors. It's not. It looks fucking awful. It's nowhere near as bad as those city maps, but it's pretty bad. Am I going to have to go on a mandatory damaging floor? Probably. I should know by now that, you know, common game design aspects don't apply to id Software, that we don't do things that way. And we didn't have this problem in Keen, did we? That there was no part in Keen where there was like a kill floor that you had to walk on. And you wouldn't have been able to get very far if that was the case. As it was Keen Dreams, I guess then you could do it, technically, but... Right, whatever, it's a trap. I'm not... I don't have the patience anymore. You know I don't. We established that last time, that I'm not fucking about entertaining the fucking level designers if they can't entertain design the fucking level, you know, where that's halfway fucking decent. So that switch is way up there. That's... It didn't seem that way. I tried every one of them, so... Unless I missed one, which is possible. It would have just brought me back up here anyway, I'm sure. So it's not like we really cheated at the end of the day. We just saved time, because it's not interesting walking around bashing fucking every wall in the map and every... Well, what do you know? Not like that item's worth anything, but... Really? And no indication at all. Yeah, as far as I know. But I mean, Tom Hall was the dude who did Keen, so... That's probably why those were alright. Aside from the code sucking ass because it doesn't run on half my machines because of fucking memory management issues, which is why I wanted to tamper with the parity on this. Oh, I'll take that, why not? For fuck's sake, now what do we do? I mean, this room was pointless when you think about it, because there's nothing in here. I don't understand this. I don't get the way levels are designed in this. Is there something on the back of one of these pillars? It's not looking that way, is it? It's like, let's just have a mishmash of sectors and hope the player has the patience to run around hitting the spacebar on every inch. I know, I don't have a problem with keying on VGA cards, I have a problem with it just it misdetects the amount of memory in the system and then refuses to run. It's like, I have like 500 and whatever K spare, and keying, I'm like, you've got 236 K memory spare, the game's run out of memory now, it won't run. It's like, for fuck's sake. But that's just id games, like I said, they don't work. Like, you think I have problems getting those run, it's Quake I can't run. The amount of shit I have to go through to actually, you know, run that to do benchmarks is ridiculous. I think I've omitted it a couple of times and just never mentioned it because I couldn't be bothered and I got sick of having to faff around with things. Well, I guess we're going back down here. For fuck's sake. Well, maybe we missed a hole somewhere. Maybe it's in the centre and not around the edge. I mean, that's always possible, right? Doesn't look that way, though. Oh, really? Is this really? Is this something I have to do, or is this just a secret? Are we really going to stoop to that fucking level? I mean, it's no worse than having to beat on random panels, but for fuck's sake. Again, like, I know somebody's going to be sat there, but you like Nightmare 3D, it has things... Yeah, but Nightmare 3D has a fucking indicator to tell you when you're near a secret panel. Because the guy who designed that wasn't a fucking moron. Like I say, it's one of the better songs in the game. Like, it's not bad, I can't think of anything bad that Bobby Prince ever did, but... there will be something, and it's just not coming to mind. This ain't one of them, but it sure as shit ain't the best in the game. Oh, we've got wall panning. I like the way it turns brown at a distance. It's like the overwhelming brownness of the game. Is this going to be one of those rare cases where we have to shoot a panel? It is. Fucking really? You fucking... It's so rare to have to do that. Like, why would you ever think to do these things? I don't know where those guys are. I heard them wake up, but I can't see them. Oh, look, a mandatory damage floor. That's really generous of you, level designers. I'm so glad you put that there. It's just fucking wonderful. That's made my day so much fucking better. Well, it does, but I don't see it happening too much in other 256 colour games of the time. It's more like the palette in this is just really, really brown. Actually, I didn't know this was 60. I thought this was like 64 colour or something, dude. So I'm not... Oh, fuck you, game. That's bullshit. That's stupid. That was really stupid, that was, game. I fucking... What? I don't know no more, man. Well, the keys... Oh, yeah, of course, this is that key. But I can't get out of here! This collision's gone weird again. There's real problems with that, this game, doesn't it? I'll just id-clip my way back up there, I don't care. Like I say, we're not missing anything, I wouldn't think, by doing that. And however that's supposed to work, I don't know. I'm not entertaining it, as I've already said. It's not taking anything away by doing that, it's just saving to... Oh, crap. Of course, I'm stood slightly inside the torch. And everything with collision is an infinitely tall cylinder. I understand why that's the case, but it wouldn't have been that hard. I could just run away from these guys, but I want to fucking kill them to make me feel a bit better about the world. Right, and now we've got to run back this way. That was fucking delightful. That's just the fucking best. Took so much health away doing that shit. Ugh. That was a boring level. I don't know how the fuck you're supposed to get out of that pit. I can't figure it out, and I'm not going to figure it out. That's someone else can figure that shit out. So this is like probably the last major level. The next one's probably just a boss rock. That door wouldn't have gone anywhere anyway. That's where we came in. That's quite a big area by Doom standards. Is this useful to us? Apparently it is. For fuck's sake. Let's just pick that up. Get our health back. I just don't get the design at all. See, it showed promise with that one map, and they had to spoil it immediately. Let's teleport her, let's take it, see where it goes. There's nothing else to do in this map. We almost got screwed by the collision for a moment. I don't want to back out onto those stars. Yeah, right, no, it doesn't work, that item. We've tried it many a time. Get out! That'll serve me right. I was kind of standing there just taunting him. Is that a shoot panel? No, it isn't. Thanks for making me waste ammo, game. With your inconsistent mechanics, that's just wonderful. Of course, id would never make a mistake like that, because they're brilliant game developers. They're not total talentless rookies, you know. Maybe you can shoot that one. I mean, it's flickering, right? But, of course not. Oh man, this game's too long. Really? I was waiting for the day it would happen. That's not happening, game. Fuck you. You want your collision detection's going to mess me up? No, it's not. Not today. Not this again. We like bounced off. And I said before we were bouncing off shit. And so we bounced off and it fucked us over. And I'm not entertaining it. My patience is done. Oh look, platforms. I could probably reach those if I run now, you know. It was worth a try. Yeah, we'll be able to reach those. Hang on. There you go. I probably... Yeah, it does just go up there. Okay, it looks like a door, but it doesn't behave like one at the moment. Maybe it will later. This appears to be a pit of no return. Let's not go in there. And that's too high to go up because no jump button. Okay, that's fine. We'll just go in the pit of no return then. At least it gave us a protective suit. Hey, oh fuck you! How does this work then? Okay, that's fine. No problems with that platform. Does the song usually do that, or did it just slow down for a second? I'm not... Yeah, that's definitely a musical decision, okay. I thought it was like lagging out the audio code for a second or something. Because like I say, I just have paranoia by this point. like we're probably about due another crash soon, really. It's been a while. That was somewhere over there. It did a thing. Oh, it's every time I walk there, so it's not that switch. So that switch served only to do nothing, I guess. But, there we go. Okay. These textures are fucking bad. I don't know why they ever thought these were a good idea. I've never seen them used well anywhere they've put them. Oh, that sucks, but at least we have this convenient platform where we might actually be able to... Okay, it actually worked this time. What? Did he just revive himself? He just revived himself, didn't he? That's got to be a bug. Has to be. Unless there's more than one. No, there's not more than one. Got pesky imps, but we don't got any of that shit, so I don't know what it's about. I wonder what that did. Only really one thing left it could have did. I'm not even about to find out what that was. Oh, wonderful. That's glorious. I really like when they do that shit. It makes life so much better. There we go. That's that problem solved. What was that? I didn't want to go through that. Well, we did, so now we've got to live with our decisions. And just see what the consequences are. Maybe it's not so bad in here. Maybe it's a nice seaside resort at the end of this path or something. I mean, I bet hell has loads of seaside resorts, you know. Got to make money somehow. You might as well do it in tourism, you know. I'm not sure I should really be running that fast on there. I have to be honest. Okay, that's a bit of a risky jump, and I'm not sure how we're going to do it with the other platforms. Because we won't be able to get back off of this one. I was trying to keep him in his damage frames. It's keyboard only now, yeah. We're playing keyboard only. Yeah, it'd be kind of interesting just to see how they're doing shit there, man. I wonder if that moves. It doesn't. Yeah, there's like stars there. I wonder how we make those happen. They're not time switches, are they? If they're time switches, I'll be furious. No, they're not time switches. Those are permanent. I don't know if we want to go down there. It looks like we're going to be going down there regardless of whether we want to or not. I heard things moving while I was there. These probably are. Ah. That's not good. There wasn't really much I could do about that, let's be honest. Oh, fuck off. I dodged. You know I dodged, game. You're lying to me. Everybody knows you're lying to me. Right, I'm going to keep the plasma gun while I go and deal with this problem. Oh no. My health! What a stupid design! There's no real way to avoid this damage, we're just going to have to take this damage. Or it'd clip our way out of trouble again, that's always an option. I mean, I don't feel particularly bad about doing things like that, I have to be honest. And level designers didn't feel bad about putting shit like that in the game, so why should I feel bad about countering it with the tools that are available to me? Oh, nice, of course, because I was totally within fucking range of that, wasn't I? Could I just kill him from here? Apparently not. Why would I be able to? That was a waste of resources. I want to do it legit. I don't want to cheat, but I'm running out of options here, man. I mean, I could probably get back in there this way. Well, maybe it does, but it's stupid that I have to walk on that floor a lot of the time. Like, it's just not how you design levels. For fuck's sake. I'm about done with this level, it's annoying me. I'm pretty certain I was walking in thin air for a moment though. It's a fucking episode of The Snowman or something. I can see a red key door down there. Oh, really? Yeah, not today, pal. We don't want to buy any of that, thanks. Well, fuck the red key door. I'll be back in a second. It certainly looked like the floor was made of lava, but never really can be too sure in this game. It could have been fucking anything. It's hard to tell the level designer's intentions. I don't know what that is. These last few levels have been weak, basically. I think the chasm was the last good one. These ones, they've been annoying, but overall they've just been weak. The design, the concept of them is just weak. They're really clutching at straws now. On the other end, I think this is the last level we're about to go into. So, yeah, I'm sure that'll be full of really nice things. But it's the last fucking level, so Doom Level Pack 2. It's almost fucking done. Oh yeah, it looks like every other boss level we've ever been on. Does it have no music? It has no music, I think. Oh, that's aniseed flavour, that, I bet you. Oh no, it has music. Maybe it just forgot for a while. Oh, that's wonderful. Yeah, and what can I do about this? Because I can't hit it. Do I fucking... This is why your game should have luck buttons in it. It doesn't appear to do anything. I guess I have to go up to the top level here. But there are fart flingers and shit up here. Does not appear to do anything, mate. Oh, can we get these guys to fuck off and get out my way? So, basically what it's going to do is spawn the most annoying enemies at us. Oh fuck it, he's just invulnerable, I think. I don't understand this. The final boss is a fucking wall. Really? Oh, I got invulnerability, that's not... I'm guessing that switch that I hit up there is required to get me up there, right? Apparently not. I really don't understand this game. It's weird and it's ridiculous. Oh, bullshit, I was on there. Bring it back down, hurry up, my invulnerability's wearing off, for fuck's sake. Enough with the knockback, get off me. Well, that's fucking wonderful. Shut up! Oh look, a mandatory damaging floor. Why is everything knocking me so hard all of a sudden? That suit did nothing then, by the way. That gun's way too slow to ever be useful. I'm not even fucking worried about that. The final boss is a fucking wall. I can't believe that. Like, you go through all that. And the game has what to offer you? Oh yeah, here we go. Let's have a fight with a wall. I mean, that figures they're the most dangerous thing in this game. For fuck's sake. Now I wonder if I made a boss out of a wall with respawners in it in Duke Nukem 3D. How many, that's because that fucking meatball's flying over my head up there, isn't it? Really? That's trash. Man, this fucking level blows. Oh, the game crashes. Of course, it couldn't just let us get to the end of the fucking game without locking up. What a disappointing end. I was expecting to be this massive boss. You know, he's going to come out and be like the devil or something. No, we have to get into a fight with a wall. We have to fight level geometry itself. That's awful. That's unbelievably awful. Even Nightmare 3D had a fucking boss. It wasn't a very good boss, but it had an actual boss at the end. Well, yeah, I'd figured that out, but like, it's kind of hard to when I'm suffering constant knockback. Jesus fucking Christ, really? Yeah, it's a fucking cardboard cutout. It's like his. I'm sorry, the devil couldn't be here right now, but please leave a rocket after the turn. Because it's made worse by how unreliable the game is. I don't think the game wants to be completed. I don't. I said when I started the game 3 crashes and I'd stop. So that's what I'm doing this time. Fuck it. If it crashes again, it don't want to be beaten, and it's not going to be beaten. We're not going to bother. We'll play something else. Oh, nice. It killed my machine. Well, that's just fucking wonderful. I guess we're not finishing it. Everything worked fucking fine until we played fucking Doom. It'll be fine, I probably just didn't press the reset button for long enough. I think I was a little bit too fast on it, so probably didn't actually reset. It's funny like that. See, it's working now. It better not be doing anything to my machine. Like, if I find out that there's a single fucking byte corrupted on my hard drive because of this, I will be fucking angry with it. I'm not even joking. It's not like I don't take ghost images of these things anyway, but that's besides the point. I shouldn't have to. Everyone makes fun of Apogee for their code being a bit sloppy, but it ain't this bad. Like, I don't see their games crashing every few seconds. Right, I don't doubt we need to press that switch. Oh, it's at the other end, isn't it? For fuck's sake, the design blurs. Again, you made the challenge out of how awful the game mechanics are, rather than actually making a challenge. Which, I mean, I'm not surprised by anything. Oh, fuck this. I'm not waiting. I'm tired of waiting. I guess we've got to fire him in the lava hole there. Yeah, that isn't going to work because it puts us too high. Look, I can see through the geometry, for fuck's sake. Ridiculous. Yeah, it was. I don't think that crashed, did it? It might have crashed like once. And I was running under Windows. Like in a virtual DOS session, you know. Well, it's Windows 3.1, so it's still real DOS, I guess, but... So you have, like, a magic, like, brief moment in which you can hit this thing. The invulnerability is good for one fucking... Fuck off. The design is stupid. Now, if we had basic platforming buttons, as this is a platforming-based challenge here, things would go a lot better. This is just dumb. Again, I wonder how many people actually played the game this far who say that it's good. Because you bring it up and you just get crickets every time you mention anything like that. Because nobody plays the game to the end. Nobody's played it in years. Just, well, they told me it was good. It must be good. It's fucking Doom. You couldn't get him to, or he didn't know how to. I think is like the vital importance here. Well, we're pretty much done for at this point. It's okay, I'm sure the game will crash in a second anyway, so I'm not really worried. I don't know if we've landed a single one of those. Ah, great. Input lag, I couldn't even cheat my way up there. What a stupid design decision. If I had the patience, I'd reverse that and see what's been said, but... I fucking didn't. I had like 2 or 3 good levels at most in this game. Did the platform have to be the wrong height? Maybe I will. We got 1 hit after all that. Fine, let's do it. Let's see what's going on in there. Such a narrow window. It's even narrower than what's visible out there. That's real fucking hell. I'm not contented with those shit mechanics. I'm done with this. It's better than the first game, I'll give it that, but it's not good. It's not even remotely good. Just so many rookie mistakes and terrible design choices. Like, most of the time there's no challenge. It's just shit like that where the challenge is based on how awful the game mechanics are, how ineffective and slow the weaponry is, how awful the controls are, how incompetently designed the fucking levels are. Everything's a mandatory fucking damage floor. At least it doesn't have the ammunition problems that you had with the first one on the 4th episode, but it's still bad, and it's still badly designed, and it's still unstable. The game doesn't fucking work properly. I'm not entertained. I don't know why people say these are good. I don't understand. Like, what am I missing here? What am I not fucking seeing? And like I said, I think we're looking at it the wrong way. The question is more, what is everybody else not seeing? Oh, I see. Well, that's pointless. I wonder how much of the development time was spent on this feature that could have been spent on actually designing the levels properly. Well, you see, I think half the people who say it's good have no nostalgia. They're probably not old enough to have played it at the time. I played it in the 90s and I didn't like it in the 90s. I thought it was trash, and my opinion hasn't changed. Does this just loop forever? Seems it does. Okay then. That was awful. That was fucking awful. And I'm not just talking about the second game, I'm talking about the whole experience of... It's not even the second game, really, it's a second level pack. Because it doesn't add anything. It still puts things in that don't fucking work from the first game as well, which I don't understand. You've got things like the invisibility item, it doesn't do anything, and they're still putting it in the levels. They've done nothing to the code to correct it, and they're still putting it there like it's meant to do something. They didn't add any jump buttons, they didn't add any look buttons, but they're still putting platforming in the game, when you have no controls to really work with platforming. They're just not good design decisions. No competent development team would do things like that. It's like Duke Nukem 3D has some really shit platforming, and I know it came later, and so they probably learnt from the mistakes of this. But it has like look buttons, and it has jump buttons and duck buttons, so doing things like that doesn't really feel that clunky in there. It's never going to feel great because it's a fast-passing shooter, but it doesn't have this kind of problems. And the thing is, there were games before Doom that had those controls. And you'd think if id were like, the people who made the damn thing were like these massive, plays every fucking video game they can get their hands on, they would have seen this shit and would have realised where they were going wrong. So either they never realised because they had no idea what the fuck they were doing, or they just didn't care. And I don't know which it is, but I find this game fucking offensive. It's awful. It's fucking awful. It's really bad. It's not fun to play. It doesn't though. Every time I use that power up, they hit me pretty much the same amount. They'll wake up as soon as I go near them anyway, so they can obviously see me. It doesn't do anything. Maybe it's affected by the difficulty setting or something. But you'd think it'd give me an easy time. I only played on the second difficulty. I wasn't turning it up any further. The game's hard enough with all the mandatory damage flaws and stupid game mechanics that don't fucking work. Yeah, I don't know, man, but I'm not impressed. I don't think it's not a good game. It was a necessary evil, and that's all it was. It was a push to every other fucking game dev. But I think if id hadn't done it, somebody else would have done it very quickly. And the thing is, you almost think, well, you'd rather someone else would have done it, but on the other hand, then you might have ended up with Bethesda or somebody making an FPS and becoming the de facto fucking, like, you've got to base it on how this works. So, I don't really know. It would have probably been worse if somebody else had done it, but I'm just not impressed. I'm really not. Especially the instability is the worst thing. I don't like having to restart my computer every 5 fucking minutes. It's very annoying. But that just comes with id games. They don't run well. They tend to break down, and that's how it's going. They're breaking down. I guess maybe I'll find something else to play in a minute. I'm just going to go and grab something because I can feel my sugar levels going to hell. Probably from getting mad at the game. It's probably absorbed everything I had. I don't have that Alien game. I got 486 stuff though. There's my fucking key ring. I've never seen another one like that, so I don't... Yeah. Virtual processor dying, it's completely needless. Yeah, that light's burning my eyes. Maybe a couple of these while I make my mind up what I'm going to do. It's not the worst game I've ever played, I'll give it that. If it didn't crash so much, it wouldn't be so fucking bad. I wouldn't go with the old failsafe. No, I know what we'll do. I feel like something more light-hearted after that, actually. Oh, my teeth. Hurts. Hey, we'll play some of this. Fucking hell, it's loud. I'll turn that down. How's that? Maybe that's better. I don't mind if I end up losing the level now. That seems about right. How's my detail levels and shit? Can we ramp those up, I wonder? Oh, well, we'll have a look. We'll see how it handles, I guess. Yeah, it's an odd little game engine. I wanted to make a clone of it in builds this game. It probably wouldn't be that hard to do. It'd be writing the AI, I think, would be the shit part. I don't do AI like this. When I write AI, it sort of behaves like something out of a Japanese horror game, and it is quite scary in watching it pause and make a decision. It always weirds me out, so I sort of don't touch it anymore. So that's how the pros do it, just drifting over the no smoking tiles there. It's going to take me a minute to get the hang of the controls properly again. I don't know that I'm going to play this very long, but... Where's my flags? Where's my fucking flags? Why? There's no flags in here. Maybe there, over there. No, that undid my map. Ah, that's convenient. Yeah, but as you play something like Haunting Ground or something, that's how my AI tends to work. I don't know, that just seems to be how I write it, and it's not really geared towards like FPS or hover kart games, I guess. It would work. I mean, I made that go-kart in like Mario Kart knockoff. I'd like to make another one of those someday, but I don't think I'll ever find the time. Oh, I can see my flag. I think it's up there. Man, the randomizer likes me. I always liked the level complete sound in this. This actually ever a Windows startup sound years ago. Full of spiders, it is full of spiders, it is full of spiders, it is full of spiders. I am bouncing off the walls on purpose, by the way, because the way it bounces, you lose less speed bouncing like that than you do just driving straight over. No, it wasn't Duke Nukem though, it was Super Meme Kart. It was, you were driving a bunch of shit meme faces around. Flinging like 4chan logos at people instead of green shells. Whoops. I didn't hit those walls on purpose, that was an accident. Let's bounce off of there because there's nothing in there. I guess the flag... Oh yeah, I was about to talk about that, how it... If you pick something like that speed up, when you've got the effect of a red one... I knew I saw it over here before. But yeah, you were basically... You know, it was leans towards playing as the troll face, for the most part. I never finished it and it got eaten by that fucking ICH-9 anyway, so... Speaking of ICH-7s and 9s and shit, that fucking NAS hadn't crashed or anything last I checked, so that seems to be working now. I still didn't see how fast it goes. I don't know. I don't really follow it anymore. I mean, I've not followed the industry in general for years, and so things like that are just... I'm out of the loop completely by now. Oh, come on, I landed on it. Don't pull the Doom on me. If it was Doom, I would have crashed into it, even though I was miles above it. I can run over those, I haven't got any flags. Aha! I see you, flag. You're not hiding from me that easily. I think we'll go around one more round of levels and I'll put something else on, because it doesn't have much variety, this game, really, does it? But I just needed something more light-hearted after all of that fucking mess. That was a disappointing end. I was hoping that the game would have something better for us. I was expecting a massive boss fight, not fighting a fucking wall. I mean, I can do that in this game. There you go, that's one funky looking fucking wall. Yeah, it came on the Windows 95 CD, you can't expect miracles. Watch those tiles, there we go, bounce off and across, and fuck you. Yeah, well, JSJ needs to go anyway, he's consistently failing to deliver the lines every time they fucking employ him again. But people change over time, you know. I don't know if the guy's too old or he doesn't want to do it. It doesn't really matter. He's just not doing a good job. So, really, they should probably get somebody else to do it next time. But, who knows? That's assuming there's ever another Duke Nukem game. There probably won't be at this rate. Which maybe is for the best. You know, everything's got to end at some point. Uh-oh. That wasn't intentional. Now I've got to find that flag again. Oh, this sucks. I'm dealing with this now. Yeah, they're quite difficult to jump on those. No! I wanna learn this song. It's hard to play and mess with the synth at the same time. I don't recommend it. So now I've probably gone lost because I've wasted time screwing around. Yeah, well, that's something I'd love to see as multiplayer in this game. It would be quite fun. And maybe slightly better frame rates, but I mean, I think it's running on like fucking. Does it even use WinG or is it just fucking GDI? Like 256 colours really makes me think it's just drawing straight to GDI, which is kind of strange to think about, really. VLC can play back video to GDI. It actually looks kind of cool because it like really crushes the colour depth. Yeah, there we go. I'll have this one last round of levels, and then I'll put something else on. Well, at least all the Doom shit's over with now. I never have to do that again. I'm glad. I don't want to do it again. It's a shame. There are some good levels in the second game, but there's so many bad ones. Ah, faster. I'm sure the car used to be faster than this. For what? Like, Doom, I don't know. I mean, that engine's certainly more capable, because, I mean, Raven and Rogue, or whatever they were called, managed to get more out of it, so... Where are those flags? There's a couple of places they could be, I guess. They don't spawn down here very often. But they do spawn down there on occasion. They never spawn back there. That way's just a distraction. I learned at a very young age that the flags only spawn in certain spots in this game. Oh, there it is. Yeah, but what for? I'm not familiar with that either, so that's I don't know what it's like, that one, but... Why use one of those? The fucking build will do it easy. There's no point in overcomplicating things. I did this shit, it'd be so easy to construct and build. I could probably rebuild these levels in like a day, if that. The geometry in them's so simple. They're basically just flat with a bunch of walls. Yeah, to be honest, it's something I'd quite happily live stream, is just trying to clone this game in build. But I'd need some way of ripping the textures out, because I've never found a way of doing it. Like, I don't know what the fuck the format is that it's storing things in. I get the sounds. The music I can get through other means, or I could just learn how to play it, which wouldn't be that hard. But, yeah, it's, I don't know. Maybe that is one for the future. It could be quite fun to stream, like, just trying to copy an entire game. The heads-up display, I think, is where I'd come unstuck. I hate doing heads-up displays. I don't like doing those. If it's on Mac, I'm sure as shit not bothering. I don't own one of those. I was gonna years ago, but then I remembered I owned a 128 years before and it was shit, so I'm like, well, why would I want another one? It's not even about capturing footage, is it? I don't know anything about those games. I don't know what they are, and I mean, I'll look them up, I suppose. I've heard people speak about them. I'm sure someone's told me before, but nothing comes to memory upon seeing the name. Don't! No, game. I was trying to pick that flag up, you son of a bitch. Stop picking up my flags. I need those. I'm not messing with... You see, if I mess with a port, it's not the authentic experience. They're like these Doom people. They've probably played it in fucking F-Doom for years or whatever it's fucking called by now. And they're not used to it crashing. And they think, oh, the code's fine because you've had somebody work on a source port for 20 fucking years. Of course it's fine. Because we don't have that luxury in EduClem, we just have the developers breaking the port every 5 minutes and then not fixing any issue I ever report because I'm not important enough. So, you know, fuck if it means my levels have to be held back all the time, and fuck if it means, you know, I've got to tell people to play in some old version of the port and dick around with their installation. It's going to hinder the fucking performance of my fucking levels. You know, why would that matter? It's all for fucking things like fucking goddamn... Yeah, I don't even hide it now. Like, I'm quite blunt with, like... Oh dear, I don't care, I was going to lose anyway and I was going to quit after this. Like, but... Yeah, you know, I don't even hide it now. Now I'm just a dick. I'm like, you know, I'm fucking... I'm done with this. Like, I can't be done with being nice about it. Yeah, the port devs are let off the hook because they're busy with Iron Maiden right now. I guess, but still, you'd think they shouldn't be breaking it, really. As much as they do. Like, you do have to start questioning things a little bit. Game's really holding off for giving them that last flag. But it's not holding off long enough. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't fucking mess with Mac stuff. Hang on, these aren't these fucking RPGs, are they? Because if they are, I'm definitely not interested. You have been defeated. The drones have captured all of my flags. No, they aren't, because I stuck one up my arse before I started the course. They only think they've won. I'd like to see them find that one. Would you like to play again? Not right now, but maybe sometime, when I try ripping the game off in build land. I won't be doing that today. I can't be bothered today. I haven't got that long left anyway, because I've got shit I need to do. But I still need to order my fucking phone. It's weird, I hate the thing already, but I'm kind of looking forward to getting it. It's going to be fun to dick around with, because I've never owned one before. I realise just how shit these things are now. It's a phone that doesn't even have a numeric keypad on it. It's like, the fuck, how is it a phone if it doesn't have a fucking dialing pad? Or a fucking rotary dial? How does that work? I wonder if I can get something that plugs in. Objectives don't bother me, that's fine. Dark Forces had objectives. That game was good. That game was very good. Actually have Dark Forces, I might play that. That's answered the question. We'll play this for half an hour. and then I'll quit. Oh, of course, I fiddled with my mixer settings, and then relative to the DOS mixer settings, for some weird reason, it's the only thing I can really floor this sound card on. I'm sure I can scroll those before. Full of spiders now. Oh, why does the volume suck? Let's try restarting it. That is an old installation, because I feel kind of bad about somebody's fucking. But yeah, that install is going to be from like 2004 or something. I don't know how it's still been copied around on here. Maybe I turn the volume down in the game, that's always a possibility. I suppose starting it this way, we're at least been far to doom, like if the machine doesn't crash, then kind of proves where the problem lies, doesn't it? I don't need a mouse to play Dark Forces. No, it's louder now, definitely. Let's have some wavetable appreciation. Oh, I'm probably about to get hit by copyright though, aren't I? I got a video of this wavetable, I don't need to do this. Let's go. Wow, we sucked at this game. It's played on medium. I don't want that on, it makes the game easier. Why is my sound not working? We'll fix it after the next level. I'll just play this level with no sound, because I'm done with faffing around. It's alright, I can appreciate the interactive music without the sound, you see. More games need that. It's not that common still, as far as I can tell, to have like fully interactive music in a game, and that sucks, because it's good. Yeah, basically, we just do our own sound effects, and that works. I'm not gonna, because I need to concentrate on the game somewhat, but I mean, knock yourself out. Let's go for some secrets here. Yeah. There we go. It's been a bit touchy that today. Oh man, there's more dudes up here than I remember. Well, that's alright, because they're no match for Carl Katar. I mean, it works with a lot of sound cards. I think what's probably happened is I probably just never turned it back on after I did the video on this sound card. Oh shit. That's not good. That's not the keyboard being funny, I think it was just me. It's like I've got used to how Doom controls now, and this just feels really smooth by comparison. I mean, this is blatantly running at a higher fucking frame rate than Doom. But I mean, that figures, because this will run on like the 386. I don't think it's going to be stretching the K5 at all. It was 95 by the time this came out. They weren't going to put one of those in. Nobody would have still been stuck with that, sure. Well, even if they were on a 386. I will stream this game start to finish on a 386 someday, because I want to see if it is fluid all the way through. So we might as well just stream it when it comes to it. Use that C and T. And we'll find out if it's incompatible with anything as well, I guess. Find out it has those weird performance dives that the next gen kept exhibiting. Oh, there's a button for that again. That was it. So this game doesn't have partial invisibility, but it has IR goggles that work. So when you're in the dark, the enemies aren't going to hit you as much. It probably is. It looks like it's riding 70 the whole time to me. But like I say, it's not going to push a K5 this game. It runs on a 386 pretty well, like full screen, so... The K5 PR166, it should just be walking it. You know what I like when you've got this is... It just starts fisting everything. Go, I'm going to fist you. There you go. That doesn't sound right, but... oh well. I mean, that's what he's doing, look. Just... It's weird, they should have made a fighting game, because punching things in this game just feels really satisfying for some reason. You're in violation of Imperial law! Well, what about metric law? I mean, surely metric law would be more precise. This Imperial law seems a little bit ambiguous to me. There's a lot of fractions involved. But then I guess, like, possession is like 9/10 a law, so all law must be Imperial. You know, I've never seen it written that possession is 90% of the law. That would just be stupid. Kyle delivers the plans to the Rebel Alliance. Soon afterwards, the Death Star is destroyed. Well, there's no point in us watching that before the sound card's turned on. So we might as well just turn that on. There we go. I don't need the FM emulation, thank you very much. I will change that. Why would that happen? It worked before. That's MT32 shit, isn't it? It shouldn't be up there, surely. I'm fucking stumped onto that. It worked fine previously. Let me have a look. Yeah, interrupt 5. Maybe. I don't know. I always just figured it was because Kyle Katarn just felt angry that day. He just sort of willed it to explode. I'm not sure why the sound's not working. That's weird. It worked perfectly fine before. I know I've played this on here before. Oh well. Let's just go with the old failsafe. When all else fails, deploy Duke Nukem 3D. That's correct. It's definitely correct. Okay, it's going to run a bit slow doing that, but can sort of cheat a little bit. We can get more performance and still make it look about as good. I think if we set like we should get some. Hey, we'll do that. That'll make things. I don't remember if I set it up for that or if it's wired up keyboard only. Yeah, it's like DF28 or something. It's called. Yeah, 21. I need to check some of those out someday. What? Oh, come on, man. So now I'm suspicious. Personally, I blame Doom. Like, it's like two machines we had working fine before we played it. And then we played Doom and now nothing works. And that's just weird to me. I don't know what exactly the problem is. And we know this used to work, so I did a live stream of this on this machine and nothing went wrong. So, like I said, it makes me mighty suspicious. Some bits might have gotten flipped somewhere, but let's just turn the machine off for a minute. See if maybe it calms itself down. But like I said, we know that used to work because we'd streamed this on this machine before and it was fine when we did that. Everything only breaks when you play Doom. It's like my 486, if everything was fine. And then we played Doom and I couldn't start Windows anymore. See, well, we might just have to throw it in the same bucket as blood at this rate, you know? Oh, fucking... It's... I don't know, but it's annoying, that's for fucking certain. See what happens now. Yeah, that's not having it. Well, I guess Doom must have busted something somehow. Because I didn't do... Well, I did. I turned parity off on the RAM because I wondered if Doom was corrupting it. Well, that sucks. I don't feel like fucking around with it right now. I'll probably just kill the stream, to be honest. I don't know, I can't bother changing over machines. I don't even know where to look for the fucking problem. I don't know what could have broken. Like what it would have done to my machine to fucking cause that. I mean, it could just be age catching up with the system, that's always viable, but it's kind of odd how two machines break when you play a fucking game. Well, the RAM's like, will be worse now because parity's turned off, but like it would be more prone to crash with parity on if there was something wrong with it, because that's how it handles it. If there's a parity error, it just halts the CPU. Let me do this, is have a look at my disk, see if my fucking disk's corrupted. I don't think it will be. I don't know what the fuck would have happened. You can see my abuse of shared folders going past now. Like, I make one folder for a purpose and then I just keep using it even though the name has nothing to do with it anymore. The parity on the cache is like a separate thing, and that is on. And the cache timings are turned down. I turned them down ages ago, like I think, before the last Doom 2 stream, just because I was like, it shouldn't be causing a problem, but maybe it is. Because it was upsetting it on the 486, that's for sure. I mean, the game still crashes on there, but it got Windows to work again. So I don't know what it's doing, but it's causing some kind of problem, that's for sure. Because I just, like I say, it's odd how everything works until I run that game. I don't know what it would be doing, but I don't like saying things like that, because there's no logical reason it should have that effect. I don't think there's anything wrong with the VRAM. Well, you'd surely be getting artifacts and shit if it was. Like, I've never known that cause a crash like that. The machine will either just not start. No, let's not do that. I'd imagine that's fine. Well, yeah, but I mean, you'd think we'd start seeing things in Windows, because Windows is running at like true colour at high resolution, so that you would start getting artifacts going on, I'm sure, if there was some kind of issue with the video card. I don't really want to swap the video card out because it's a pain in the arse to do. I don't really want to mess with that. I'll put parity back on though. I'm going to do that. I'll just do that now. Fuck it. We'll do it on the stream. Why not? Let me see what I can do here. Let's get those out of the way. So maybe something's come loose in there while I was fiddling in there at the start of the stream. You never know, I might have knocked something out. Maybe it just needs something reseating. I have a motherboard that has a really shit CPU socket where occasionally it doesn't work and I have to reseat the CPU. Yeah, the IRQ addresses are fine, there's nothing wrong with those. Shouldn't be anyway. I mean, that sound card uses like 3 of them, but we don't have IDE controllers. Take it. Well, it's the K5 this. Yeah, it is, because it runs hot. So I replaced the fan in the power supply with a hefty Delta one. Not quite one of those, but close to one of those. These things are fucking awesome. Let me see. Let me turn this around. I'll turn this damn bus around. That'll end your precious little field trip. Now we can see what's going on in the machine. Nothing very interesting, I guess, but we'll go in there anyway. Fucking, that's a bit overexposed, that, isn't it? Yeah, no, it's 12 volts, but it's 12 volts and considerable current. 1.35 amps. Same goes for, how much is this one, Paul? 1.6 amps for the 120mm version. That's what the Presley uses now. I don't think that's going to be overheating anytime soon. It just runs at room temperature. We got a Pentium Extreme down to fucking room temperature. It's like, yeah, okay. But I mean, that thing will run on no fans because it's just over-engineered to fuck. The parity jumper's up here, so we'll fiddle that, and then I'll just rattle things and see if anything's loose. It's very hot in here. The hottest thing in here is not even what you'd expect, because you've got all this fucking stuff, and obviously the CPU runs really hot because it's a fast K5. Those fans go to, like, I think they're only like 5,700 RPM or something. They make ones that go like 7,500. I want to get some of those. And then just throw carrots at them to see what they do. No yelling on the bus. That's exactly where it was from. I just remember years ago playing Age of Empires, and me and this dude, like, I didn't even know him, we just ended up screwing with everyone else in the game. Because one of the people in the game just sucked, and so we sent all these monks just to go and pray them to death. And I just started in the chat with fucking a bunch of shit about, you know, I will destroy them with my prayers. And this guy just come back with, I will burn them with my holy cross. Like, instantly realised it was War of the Wilds. And nobody else in the game got it, so we were just quoting War of the Wilds non-stop the whole time. Well, that might have been a bit loose, the capture card. Sound card's down there, it doesn't feel loose. To me... Yeah, I wondered if you could build like a hovercraft with them, but they seem a bit heavy for that. Oh, come on! It's all because I moved the fucking camera, isn't it? It's fine as long as there's movement. Look at that shit. That's some bullshit right there. Well, there will be. It's a cheap Chinese key fob camera. It looks like a key fob. It's not a serious camera. That's the SCSI card. That's our performance killer there. That makes the machine noticeably slower because I've tested now. Yeah, well, they're pretty good for stashing in the ladies' like locker room. If you put a set of keys on and you get the non-wide angle one, you really can't tell. You'd be amazed that people don't notice that you can get away with. It's fucking brilliant. The only other thing I could think to look at would be the connectors for the power supply, but I mean, I can't see them coming loose. And obviously the RAM's up here, but I can't see that being a problem either. I mean, there's only 2 sticks in there. You know what, we can replace those. I remember when it was a thing to build hovercrafts with like balloons and CDs, like they used to make kids do it at school. We could replace the RAM with a couple of sticks of that, but that'll give us 64 meg, which is a little bit excessive. We can certainly do it, but this is fast page, so I don't think we'll be... I've just noticed the ISA slots in this have silver contacts, they're not gold plated. Yeah, I've seen those done. I've seen people build like suction climbing things with vacuum cleaners, where they'd have a vacuum on their back and they'd be able to sort of hang off the bottom or something. Like they'd be able to put it up on the ceiling and just hang off of the handles. I don't know about replacing those memory sticks. I don't think that's going to fix anything. There's a really odd bug with this motherboard, which is this jumper here, you notice, is completely off. And that's the flash voltage for the BIOS ROM there. And what's really weird, I've never been able to figure out why it does it, but it does do it, and it's a good job I always dump those things before I put a board into service. Because what happens is the option ROM for the SCSI starts up, and then the BIOS flash circuit turns on and flashes the first half of the EEPROM with the SCSI BIOS. And so it just erases the boot block and the machine won't start again. So, yeah, I have to pull that off so it can't flash its own BIOS chip. It's just an oddity of this machine. I'm really not sure why it does it. I will replace the RAM sticks. We're not going to lose any performance going over to fast page RAM, so, well, we might as well. It's, you know, EDO just doesn't offer a performance boost on these, at least not a tangible one. You might be able to measure it in a benchmark. I guess we can find out, because I've still got the notes on screen from when I started the stream. These slots are really stiff. I don't think I can get those out, to be honest. We'll try, but... Sorry, you can't see anything right now, but I don't really have a way of getting the camera up there. I don't know, it's probably... They probably did a bit of an oversight and put the fucking... like the thing to control the goddamn flash circuit probably lives at that address, and they just thought nothing would be there. And then Adeptec made those cards in the late 90s and decided, oh, let's stuff the option ROM over there, you know. No compromises, it will be at that address, and triggers the BIOS flash routine to go off. I don't. What did I do with those big sticks? I have like 2 more of these. The sticks I've just pulled out, they're on the desk. I didn't observe which way those... Oh, fuck. Which way did they go? I don't need to look, it's an ECS board. I know my way around ECS boards. The notch will be out to the back there, I would think. Yes, it is. I've worked with a lot of ECS boards. I kind of know my way around them. I don't need manuals to set them up, because I've worked with that many of the fucking things by now. It's just second nature. I kind of know their design quirks and everything. MSI boards always fuck with my head, because MSI like to put things on backwards. There are MS4144 boards where the fucking cache chips are mounted backwards, the sockets are facing the wrong way. So there's a lot of dead ones because people inserted the cache backwards. I think somebody did it on my original one at some point, because the sockets were backwards on that. It was something you always had to look out for. Well, there we go, there's new RAM in there now. Let's see if it starts. It starts up. Let's get ready with the... it's very cheap looking, the RAM I just took out. Oh, we got 512k of cache in here. You know what? I've just been paid. Maybe I'll order another 1024k. Because I think this board supports it. We'll have a look and see if it has a legend. But yeah, you can see now it's not EDO RAM, and that's going to impact performance a little bit. We'll have a look. We'll force it to start safe mode and see if it's impacting us. Because I say, I still got my notes on screen from before, but I don't think it's going to be that much of an impact running FastPage. It's a 7200 RPM drive in here, like it's an old 7200 RPM drive. I like the noise it makes. That's exactly the same score in there. We've lost our fractional increase by putting memory parity back on. This is a bit more memory heavy. Let's see if we get any boost or loss in here. I think it'll score the same. I really do. EDO it's supported, but it's not taken advantage of yet. I don't think it's until you get to the Pentium MMX that you'll start seeing, you know, you'd have like a 430TX chipset where you've got the other problem where, yeah, the score's a fraction lower, but it's not tangible. You know, it supports SD RAM in that case, but it's just going to run it like it's EDO. It scores exactly the same in Top Bench. I'm really not worried. I think we'll be fine on FastPage. We've got to blow those voltage regulators there, because those get very hot. Let's dab some saliva on there and see if it evaporates. Yeah, it evaporates. Yeah, well, that's what I mean. You get SD RAM on the 430TX, but it doesn't run any faster than EDO at that point. It just seems the way it always goes. They add support for a new memory technology, but it doesn't offer an advantage until like a couple of boards down the line. I'd like to know why that jumper there doesn't work. That audio header, it just doesn't do anything. There is something coming out of it, but it's not audio. And there's so many mistakes in the manual for the WinTV that I just wonder whether they just weren't paying attention. CPU speed's the same. Memory bandwidth, it is slightly lower, but I mean, we're talking like 126 versus 150. I don't think you'd ever notice these kind of things. My cache hasn't even been tested yet. And plus, like I said, I turned the latency up on this, like, just to see whether it would fix Doom. I mean, they're not the fastest cache chips, you know, they're like 20 nanosecond or something, so you can never go flat out anywhere. At least it is measuring the L2 cache now, it wasn't before. Yeah, L1 cache is actually slightly faster. No, it's the same speed. L2 I don't know about. Memory throughput, a very small drop, but we're not really losing anything by being on fast page RAM. I think we should be fine. I'm really not sure why there was a problem there. Fucking Enemax branded fan, that's kind of unusual. Well, that hard drive is that massive fucking bulky piece of shit there. I guess we'll put the lid back on and we'll have a quick look at what's going on. So, have a look at this. Yeah, that's doing what it's supposed to do. 1.75. Weird fucking multiplier, if there ever was one. At least keeps the fucking room warm. Let me do something here. See, there's a thing I can do to make this camera behave coherently. I've sort of learnt some of the bullshit that OBS does. I think I just ripped my headphones out. That's not good. Deal with that in a second. Why isn't my camera detecting now? Fucking OBS will be screwing with the USB. Fucking fuck. There we go. That's a good start. Okay, now that should be stable again. Well, I'll put the lid back on. We'll see what it does. I'll have a look in the BIOS and see if there's anything I can adjust. I can turn the parallel port off, but there's nothing on IRQ7, so I don't know why the parallel port would be causing problems. But I mean, I can turn it off. It's just a troubleshooting thing. Mullet man, why? See him around for a while. I don't know what he's up to at the moment. He'll be somewhere in some capacity, but I never know. I don't trust the guy. I don't, you know. You loan him money and you never see it again. He just never gives it back. So, I mean, you give him it, you know you're not going to get it back, but he has a way with words, so I'll give him that. Yeah, this screw's a pain in the ass to do. I mean, technically I can do shit like this on this stream because we finished Doom, so we did what we promised to do. 2 screws enough. I'll put the rest back in later. I don't know, it's not Mullet Man, it's like just my summer clothing. Let's have a look in the BIOS. Yeah, that's correct. It's forever 1996 on this machine. Oh, that's going to be slowing my boot time bit. Oh no, it has to do that because that's how the SCSI controller hooks, isn't it? It ignores that as far as I think I turned that on when I was modifying the ROM, and then it just sort of got left alone. Like, because it doesn't do anything on this. I guess it could be. Oh no, I mean he's got Bossman style shades on, but turn that on I suppose, but it's not going to do anything, that's the thing. Turn that down I suppose, but I don't think it's going to make a difference. On power management. Yeah, there's nothing interfering with those. I mean, it's not using slots in that way. It shouldn't be. Well, sometimes Real Duke. That's it. You're an agent. I knew it. Jesus Christ, man! Tell me about the fucking golf shoes. We'll turn that parallel port off, but there's nothing on that interrupt, so I really don't know why it would make a difference. Don't think we can turn those down any further. Obviously that's off. There's no need for that to be on. There's nothing using IDE in here. The sound card might be sort of sitting on IRQ 15, but I think the Win TV's over there. I like that movie. It's different every time you watch it. You start noticing more and more things. I think Old Boy's better for that though. Old Boy, you never quite get the whole film. You have to watch it over. I'm on about the Korean version, obviously. You just have to watch it over and over to figure everything out. I think it just wouldn't go where I wanted it to then. Let's not skip this, let's just see what it manages. No, it broke. Yeah, Doom's busted my machine. I don't know how it's busted my machine, but it's busted my machine. That's mighty nice of it. I'm going to turn my parallel port back on before I forget. What I'll do is I'll try starting without a mouse. Maybe that'll work. I don't know why, because like I say, it worked fine before. We had this machine stream that game, so I don't know why it would work then and not work now. I forgot to look if the motherboard's supported. Okay, so let me have a look. Maybe it does. I'll have a look on the internet. Yeah, it does. Maybe I'll order some more of that. It's weird because it has like 3 cache banks on this motherboard instead of 2. Let's change the video mode. Maybe the Mac 64 just doesn't like that video mode. It's always a possibility. I mean, it shouldn't be the mouse just solely because, like I say, we fucking... No, I've never had any such device. Now here's the question, is it the mouse or is it the fucking, Is it the mouse or is it the fucking, thing, the fucking, video mode? It's a good question, isn't it? Let's see what we're getting here. We had -2 for a second there. Yeah, settling at about 20. It's more efficient than Doom's engine is. This is configured for a mouse, so I've obviously had the mouse working on here. That's the thing. Well, let's see if there's any command line parameters. Could be that, I suppose. Let's try that. I'm just going to force it down into conventional memory. Yeah, well, I don't have an MMX running because I just don't see a point in them. I have a K6 for that, so... Yeah, I guess it just doesn't like that video mode. Maybe Doom didn't break my machine. I probably still had the Vargin here when they did. Look how shit the load time is though on the fucking SCSI card. It's awful. Like, it's really bad. And now I've gotten used to eDuke again, so... Oops. I'm not going to play this for long. It'll only be like 10 or 15 minutes before I just stop and smirk and kill the stream, but... So I want to know if it works now. Oh, that wasn't well aimed at all. Nor was that. I'm getting ahead of myself. I don't know whether I'll stream this Plutonium pack one day or whether I'll just let's play it start to finish. I suppose I really should get round to setting the ISIS up my K6. I've decided fuck the Sound Blaster 16 compatibility of the All-64. Its wavetable's not very good, so it's not worth it. You might as well install that ISIS and just take the hit in compatibility. The Pentium 2 can probably pick up the slack anywhere that was a problem. Oh yeah, that's gonna cut my fucking frame rate in half looking at that mirror. I really should turn that on and see how fast it's going. Oh, that's because it had E in it. Yeah, that cuts things in half. You go down from 30 to 15 doing that. Yeah, ISA I can't see it making too much difference because ISA is just shit anyway. I'd be interested to know if VLB does it, but I don't have any drives that work with my VLB card. Because there's like some really shit limits on it. And it all has to be set up with jumpers. It's a pain in the arse to do. Do it a bit more sound volume here, couldn't we? There's like a warp you can do here. I can't remember the right spot. I think it's like up against that ceiling there you have to hit and you can get into that area down there. But it's kind of tricky. I haven't done it for years. It's a dick move you could do in deathmatch and just piss people off. Oh, I forgot about him. Waste the ammunition, I'm not playing seriously, and we get some more shells in here anyway. And we could just jetpack to the end now. Yeah, I think it's actually running better than it used to. I must have fiddled with something. Well, I would, because I don't see why it would do that at that resolution. It should be half. Like, it's an MMX 166, it's not really any faster than the K5. It's basically unavoidable, that damage. It's one shit decision they made that I don't approve of. Like, it sort of becomes Doom for just a second. I don't know where that fucking fuckhead is. Fuck him, he can hang about flying all day. I thought I picked up a Hollow Duke in here. Oh, did I miss that secret? Probably did. No, I don't think it's in where I think it is. I think it's just armour in there, but we'll have a look. Yeah, it is just armour in there. Oh, yeah, that's the Hollow Duke one in there. I can still hear that jetpack. Get down here, I want to kill you. Crappy fucking lasers. Yeah, I remember when I thought the pig cops were difficult when I first played this game. And then I realised that they were just pig cops. Used to be, at one point in the game's development, it was the Lizmen who flew the RPVs and not the pig cops. Well, when I knocked that, but that sucks. Oh, I want those, which will be mine. Kick him to death. He's not worth my bullets. Let's see. Chugs a bit there. I would imagine because there's a decent amount of sprites in this area. Oh, you won't drink it if you're over 100 health. I didn't know that. I don't know, like, the cache shouldn't be that much faster. It's not that much of a hit. The video card is, but I don't think it should be that much faster because it's the same core. Like, it's just a Max 64 VT with, like, more 3D on it. So I don't see it making that much difference. If I put the Matrox in, it's not that much faster. It should be, because as far as I know, the 2D core's faster on those than it is on the Rage. It should be. So that could make an interesting, pointless video. How do shadows work in this game? Ah, fuck this level, I'm out. Oops. Yeah, so if I install it in here, it should be about the same speed. The integer unit on the K5 isn't exactly slow. This is a crap way to start a level. And I've never understood why the switches are reversed on the N64 version. It seems like such a random thing to change. What's the time in this? It's like 9:04 or something. It's like 10 beats or something weird like that. It's a really odd meter to play in. Oh shit, he got me. Now we don't need to go in there, really. And the thing is, you know full well I built an MMX and I couldn't replicate it, and I've never been able to replicate it. They're just not that much faster. If at all. And it's not exactly like I'm using really poor quality boards or something. Tell you what we'll do, we'll use this because I'm pretty certain we get another one soon. We do, and I know where it is. On the other end, I think we get... Oh shit, that was a bad landing. Yeah, it's another atomic health and not a med kit. I was right. Unfortunately, we need this key. Oh, I'm not in that difficulty, so he's not there. Yeah, I don't get it, man. I really don't. There's something off about all of this. Oh yeah, of course it takes that off me. But that doesn't mean I can't... Oh, bad angle. Bad angle. Get here. Get here. Oh man, I'm rusty. Oh, what? Suck shit. How did that happen? I know why it happened. It was input lag, I think, but... I'm just taking a different path to what I usually do, just to break it up a bit. There's quite a lot of ways you can do this level and just completely break it. Oh, we'll use that. Might as well. Look how much faster the weapon switching is in this game, though. It's way better. Now, this is why Duke Nukem 3D was popular, and I still swear it outsold Quake at the time. It's really hard to find figures for it, but I could swear it did. Like, I don't know that it was by much, and I don't think either of them kept particularly good records, but... Oh, I angled it wrong. I wanted to go back in the water. Let's rock. Let's cock. Oh, you can beat the water sometimes. Oh, shit. That sucks. Let's just restart the level. I'm not used to playing it with, without an abundance of weapons. This could be interesting. we might have to do something about that. Get our guns back. I mean, there's ammunition in those holes there, but they're pretty hard to get into, is the problem. Ow! Ow! Well, that's just a hollow juke in that one. There's not really a good spot to jump there. Where's the damn door? Oh no, but I'm going to drown in a minute. I'm sure it's over... yeah, okay. That's pretty handy. Let's try going in that other hole and see what it has to offer us. Can I do this at these kind of frame rates? Yeah, I can. Yeah, that'll be useful. Let's just use a pistol for now. Now, what all of this stuff doesn't explain is the sound not working in Dark Forces. I'm still not sure why that's going on. Okay. Ah, come off it. I wasn't with it. I was within range, I guess. I'll just cheat it for now. I can't be bothered. Now it's more a case of just, does my fucking machine work? Either way, I got what I wanted. An item I don't even need because, you know, I could have just fucking done that, but... The problem is, it's hard to get back out of here doing that. It doesn't, you know, it's a little bit... giving the element of surprise. Oh, surprise! There is one improvement the N64 version has, is that you can kick the corpses into tiny little jibs. I hate this area. I honestly don't like this area out here. I think it's shite. It's a weird thing, I'm sure I remember, with how... I can't remember how it goes, but I know there's a way to get up there instantly without having to do this. There's something with a really careful timing on the... He just oofed before I landed then. So yeah, there's something funky with that one sector. I don't remember the specific ins and outs of it, but... there's something funky with it, definitely. Does God have, like, any thoughts on lizard men? I mean, they're from a different part of the universe. You'd think that maybe... You know those mines are actually a projectile called Bounce Mine? Right, it fires them and it has the motion blur effect on and everything. And they sort of float upwards. The game never uses them, but they are there. Ah, just a bit too slow. Well, they ain't gonna come up here, so fuck them. Yeah, I just wondered if I had any state saved, but I don't. Let's not do the secret level today. Oh man, it's a bit dark in here. Ah! Nelly. It's the wrong way anyway. No, it wasn't. That would have been the right way. Ah! Close. Let's stop faffing around. Do it legitimately, why not? Take that med kit because I won't be coming back down here. It's painful. Uh-oh. I never got a new chain gun out of this level, did I? Bounce mine, I don't know. I've never seen it used, so I don't know. I tell you what, I'm about done with the stream, so when I finish this level, I'll switch over to my Mapster view mode and I'll load one in really quick, just to sort of show what it does. So I don't intend to take the boss on right now. I just don't. Yeah, damage floor can be avoided because there are protective boots in the map. I just never went and picked them up. At least I'm pretty certain there is. Well, maybe I'll come back to this later. But not today, obviously. Let me see here. Let me see. Mapstar 32. I might have to look on the info suite to do this. Probably will. Let me have a look. That's convenient. That page is up there. 940. It's the only 3-digit number. Okay, we'll just make a new sector. No, we'll just spawn them in Hollywood Holocaust, why not? Should we spawn lots of them, I guess? This will be the last thing I do. Let's see. Let's make them happen down here. So first need a couple of doors, because I want to make them rapid fire. It'd be easier if you do that. Whoops. Send one of those down to positive. We'll have a 3-tick delay. I don't think we need to switch activate that, and so we'll have an activator on AS1. Yep, that matches, and then we'll have a GP speed with a 940, and then we'll have a S of 31, 34. I can never remember the damn number for it. 6, that's it. Let's have a few of them. Why not? Just have a row of bounce mines coming out. Let's turn the monsters off fast, but... Yeah, is my bellows not running? I think yeah, okay, that may be what's wrong. I don't know why it would be, but unless I'm remembering something wrong here. Let's set those at a really high speed. That's fixed it. Weird things, aren't they? Let's put these down there, because they sort of... I've never really played with them that extensively, because they're not useful for anything, that's the problem. Weird things. I suppose you'd be able to create some really neat effects with them, but... Because once they hit the ceiling, I guess the whole tower will explode because they're so close together. They don't chase you, but they sort of loosely track player position. Let me slow them down a bit and raise them off the ground a bit and move them away from the wall a bit. Oops, what the fuck am I? That should be about right. I'm going to slow them down. They have a delay of 10, which is about 1/3 of a second. Well, I don't know, quite often 26 ticks is a second in here for whatever reason. It's like there's some inefficiency somewhere. I should get the full the bellows is just causing the shooter to trigger more often than it should. Yeah, they're unused, and they're a little bit unpredictable, like that one there. That's... I don't know if we can make any more come out like that, because I don't know what caused it. I can't imagine it being good for the frame rate in the DOS version either. Well, I'm using a machine to time them, but that effect is part of the game, it's just never used. You can do some strange things with shooters, because you can do this as well, but you have to face them backwards. What's the number? 2296. I do have to look at the informational suite. No, I'm not. I'm not like infallible. But the weird thing with this is you have to face them away from the wall to do this, and as far as I know, I'm the only person who's ever done this in a level. So there may be good reasons for this, but... I don't believe this will ever hit the sprite limit because I think it starts erasing them when there's too many. Yeah, you can see they start going away, but they're not affecting sprites in the rest of the map. So there's obviously a limit to how many blood splats, and there's some kind of hard-coded limit on. But you can make the walls bleed. I can sort of figure out why they would face away from the wall, because, I mean, evidently they're obviously classed as, you know, a projectile or something for them to work with that effect. And
what are you waiting for?
Obviously,
Christmas?
if you shoot something, it's going to be facing towards you in all likelihood. And so I figure that's probably why the shooter has to face away from the wall for this to work. If you face it towards the wall, they just don't appear. Or they'll just sort of flash into existence in mid-air for a second. Yeah, that library level I made used them, and as far as I know, it's the only level to ever do it. But it's right there in the info suite, so... There's like 4 variations on it. Well, you can fire a lot of shit out of those. But yeah, they're just an odd thing, the bounce mine. Nobody's ever used them that I've seen. There must be a map somewhere that uses them, but... I do wonder what the fuck they were meant for. Like, what they would do. I have no idea. I mean, at one time, the game had, like, underwater levels. Like, I often wonder if they were somewhere around Derelict or something, maybe. Because Derelict's an old level. Oh, yeah, the base game has, like, just mines there, but I don't know that they're technically bounce mine. Like, you know, they're an actor at that point, not a projectile. So I don't really know on that front. They call them bounce mines a little odd in and of itself, because they don't really bounce. It's not how they work, you know. So maybe they were supposed to. The mortars bounce. You spawn a load of those. It's just spawn unrealistic amounts of them. 1650. Before I quit for the night, let's just spawn like ridiculous amounts of mortars. I have done this in a map before, just to generate constant explosions. Let's make it really fast. Let's go like a 0 tick delay, which I guess will be 1 tick, really, because execution and shit. These are what I want to use as golf balls if I ever make that golf thing. Shit. Completely impractical. It looks kind of cool, at least. I suppose. Yeah, obviously, machines are things like that shit. That's still probably the biggest one I've ever built, is that clock. I could probably make it more efficient now. These all use shrinkers, because shrinkers are pretty much the only thing that doesn't The grey mines are called bounce mines. The things I were just firing are called mortars. Well, I can make him shoot them that quickly. Wouldn't be too difficult. But yeah, this is going to be loud. Prepare your ears. Yeah, shrinkers are one of the only things that never, like, follow the player. So what that one's doing is one of the smaller ones in this map, but it has this weird setup time where for a while things aren't really moving fully. As if the ocean's like square for a brief moment. And that's going to be... Yep, those have become detached, but that's how I get the water to go down the slopes. So what you do is... Uh-oh. Four warnings. Ah, shit, should I have... There we go, now there's no warnings. Can I remember how to do this? Those should belong to Sector 44. And here's how you get water to go up and down a slope when it's just aesthetic. Oh, what is it? I have this written down. I'm not very good at M32 scripts. I'll have to look it up. Hold on. No, we don't want to be in there. There we go. It's do 4i. There we go. So I have to use that quite a lot, but I can never remember the fucking command. Let's bash it now so I can see it. Do 4i. I know you should all think they're in Sector 44 now. So we lie to the game engine, which has some consequences, because if we can't see that sector, they'll disappear. But, that's fine. It's not a big deal. Doesn't matter. You had to put them there just because of the way things work. Nothing too complicated. What? Why is that happening? Game, don't fuck with me. Sector 214? What do you mean? It was Sector 44 a minute ago. Oh, it's weird how that happens. That would explain why they weren't undrawing. As like, there we go, now they're undrawing. Nothing too complicated. I think critical mass has some machinery in it, but nothing too complex. But yeah, that's how that effect works. It all looks a bit clunky from here, but you never really get to stand there. It's like the farthest you can go is here, and really the place you'd see it from most is actually up there. And so it doesn't really matter about the crooked textures. Yeah, I don't think they ever built anything like that. Critical mass is like what? Are they? I don't think it's that one. Is it? No, that's ecstasy. There we go. That's critical mass. But it doesn't have anything too serious off the side. It's mostly just earthquakes. Can't remember where those are. Yeah, that'll be to control doors, lighting somewhere. That'll be like to make the lights fade in or out. because there's no effect for fading lights, but you can do it with a door opening and closing will fade lights. So that's what those are for. Trigger those with most things, because they're master switches, they can only trigger them once. There is a bunch of Quake sectors somewhere in this. I don't remember where they are now. It's a long time since I've played with the stock map. There's a bunch of Earthquake machines. But they're not really... There's nothing that complicated in the 3D realms things. I don't know. I don't think they're something people have much of an interest in. In all the time I've built them, I've only known one other guy ever make one. And oddly, it was in a map that came directly after mine in the mod it was in. So yeah, I don't. People just aren't interested in that. You got to understand. I'm blaspheming with the way I do things. Like it's not the done thing. People aren't that big a fan of the way I build levels, which I guess is fair enough. I am kind of an asshole because people said my switch puzzles were too hard even when I was giving them the answer in the next room, so my response was to make the puzzle harder, because that's you know, I'm like, well, fuck you, but make the puzzle harder, but innovate the puzzle. Don't just make it a fucking a puzzle that does nothing. Like make it do something that hasn't been done before. Like, where are we? Switches, where do those go? I don't remember where the fucking machine is for them. Let's just steal one and drag it over to the machine rooms and see if we can figure out where it belongs. Here we go. See what this room here does. You can see it moves these gates, but yeah, basically what we have is the combination for those switches changes randomly every time you use the level, and the thing is that they're not just dip switches, they're four-way switches. But it's not as hard as it sounds, because they can never be 4. The 4 is not a valid value for that machine. It's just not possible for it to land there, because if it did, the door might open on its own, because obviously if it went 4, 4, 4, 4. But it's not that huge of a deal, because it does give you a couple of the numbers. It's basically the same mechanism as the clock, in a way. Because it really just operates sequentially. You can probably sit in this room and it'll start counting. You can see the numbers are sequential and it just operates each at a slightly different speed. It gives you the first 2 numbers. And that's it. They'll just cycle until the player reaches a certain point and it turns the randomizers off. But until they stand in that one magic sector, then
what are you waiting for?
It's just going to keep changing the combination until then. And then it might not even go this way, because the layout of this level changes depending how long it took you to get to a certain point. It's really not the best implementation of the concept. I would have liked to have done something better with it, but I never will now. Instead I go with my dimension busting stuff, I guess, but... yeah, I'll show you some before I go. I'll have a cigarette before I kill the stream, I guess. This is a map I never completed, that never will be completed. I may use bits of it somewhere, but as it is, it's not coming out in this form. Afraid to sleep. I keep having nightmares, always the same. I must have scratched myself in my sleep. It's been a week and I'm out of coffee. What the snow ever thaw? I must stay awake. Basically, you're just some fucking caffeine addict who was stuck in the middle of, in some shack somewhere. I don't know why the start point's in there. That's really strange. I can't... There's probably some reason I had to start the player there, but I don't know. Let me start it up and see if I can figure out what it's doing. Was it to make the player read this before they yeah, it kind of was. I get it now. I never finished it, but... And that thing just burnt constantly. But yeah, this level never came to be, and it never will. And the frame rate hits hard for some reason. None of this is enterable, is it? No, it shouldn't be. I'll just run through. There's nothing really implemented in here. And it's still sort of in its ugly beginnings. I'm sure I saw something over there. And that's the thing, if you look outside at times you start seeing things, but it was all up to the player to find it. Yeah, it looks like a decent enough place to live to me. It's isolated. You had the mistake of falling asleep. That wasn't a good idea. It isn't the shape I remember it in. Yeah, basically. I'm not sure what I was going for with it, to be honest. I can't remember the combination for this, and I hadn't quite figured the trick out for making belts not go out of sync like that yet. Don't remember the combination. I mean, my maps invariably fuck with the player, it's just how I do it, you know? That's my way of doing level design. Fuck with the player. That one's not working. There we go. They were supposed to reflect what was going on, but I hadn't quite figured it out yet. I couldn't get it to work now. There we go. The water sort of mounts up as we walk along. And it was going to go back down if you ran the other way. It was really difficult to implement. But there's water in there. You can see it's getting higher and higher and higher. And the belts are going to be broken. Yeah, they are. Turn that off, because everyone's hard death told 10 million times. Is there anything out here this time? Yeah, there's a shadow there.
Oh. Ah. Oh. Ah.
Yeah, it was never finished and it probably never would be. It's kind of tough to navigate this bit. Because I don't remember exactly how it works now. Ah, there we go. I did have a clue. I was supposed to turn there, was I? I don't want to go in there. I don't want to go in there. I don't want to go in there. Maybe making sense now what's going on. No, there's going to be no enemies in it at all. I can't remember if I got this effect on... Yes, I did. He basically scars himself to death. Now is it making sense what's meant to be going on here? And I think that's as far as I ever got with it. His message changes every time, like, he comes in this room, but it wasn't an interesting enough concept, so it never happened. It's not so I might not reuse rooms from it, but yeah, it wasn't interesting enough. I'm sure that opened now, but I don't know why it's not. Maybe I didn't, but let's go in there. Have a look. Oh shit. And I never finished this bit. This is literally the last bit I built, and I'd never got this effect to work. I wanted the corridors to wobble. They sort of get lost over time. But this is sort of where the level was going to end. But you never know, like I say, you may see pieces of it might show up somewhere else. It may be a thing. This is something I wouldn't mind going back to someday, where I was trying to figure out... You ever seen that one movie, Cube? Where I figured if at one point I used trains, this is an old version, but I figured in the end that I could basically randomise teleporters in the doorways, so that every time you played it, you would get a different result. But again, it was complicated and it wasn't that interesting of a concept. So why are there lines that... Fucking hell, must be a feature that got added. I don't remember it being there. And obviously that's the map I just released. Alien abductee. 16-story elevator. I want to build a better elevator. Yeah, I like Cube. It was a good film. Yeah, that was pieces of a better elevator. I'm not going to look at that. Podgy Towers. That's I can't believe I found it. It was the original 16-story elevator. And the original clock. That's where that shit came from. There's a map called the Podgy Towers that was pretty ugly and was never going to be finished, and then got lost to drive failure. I did like this room, but I can never use it now just because it uses custom textures. Nobody ever plays shit that uses custom assets, so it's not worth doing. And this room rips off a movie. You might be able to tell which movie. I wonder if that effect will work. Let me have a look. That's not something I've ever seen anyone else do. Who I'm remotely viewing on a screen without interaction. But in this build it got broken in Polymer, and it's still broken. It doesn't work in any mode now. The view screens don't work right anymore. And the devs aren't going to fix it, I wouldn't have thought, so we're going to be stuck in this version of the build. Oh yeah, that was when I figured out how to do that. I wonder why my maps have such piss poor frame rates. And of course we have this stuff, I guess. There's not too much in existence for this yet. It's the map I want to be working on next, and it'll probably be my last big map really, because I'm pretty much burnt out. I got nothing left in me as far as this goes, and this wall has to be high just because of the draw bugs you get with that. It has some issues. So you're not really supposed to do that. It doesn't use true room over room. It'll work in the original DOS version, that effect. And the thing is, you can teleport the player there into the doorway, but I prefer to go this way about it. Because if I enter them from the basement, basically, you know, what's going to happen is they're going to look around and they'll see down here, like, there'll be a door that goes to where the level ends. So that sort of tells the player what they need to do, and these are things you need to consider when you build a map. The stairs are built out of sprites just because I know I'm going to run out of walls in here. We've actually been teleported around a couple of times here now. You know, we're getting shoved around without the player really being able to tell. It's a long way from complete. And the scale's big in this one, but I think it needs to be. Overscaling is better than underscaling, and I'd rather overscale this map, because I think it'll actually be better slightly overscaled. And this don't work yet, but basically what's going to happen is there's kind of like some different dimensions going on, and so you'll have something out here that's going to control that, and then you'll walk through here, and then you come out in whatever dimension, you know, red, green, blue dimension. You know, it depends on what you're doing. If I walk in a straight line, I should find the red dimension for this side of the ground floor. That may well be a part of it. Seems to be. I go... Ooh. There we go. It's not where I wanted to enter. Entry should be in here. There we go. So you walk into the blackness, and obviously you're going to come out in some version of this for that direction. And all the dimensions interact. It is really overscaled, this map, but so I don't see that as an issue. This puzzle, I haven't figured this out yet, what I'm going to do with it. But I have some ideas of what I want to do. Oh yeah, of course I can't get out of here yet. Yeah, it's time-consuming stuff. You have to come up with things like that just as like an excuse as to why the player can never go somewhere. Like, he's not supposed to be able to walk in here, but I've obviously pasted a wall without thinking. Yeah, maybe someday it'll be finished, but not today. Not for a long time. But yeah, I'm done with the stream anyway. We beat Doom 2, I guess. We technically cheated, I suppose, but... Oh well, you gotta do these things. Is all I can really say to that. So I'm gonna bail out of here, and yeah, thanks for tuning in, I guess. I'll see you around. Fucking no more Doom. Yeah. Quite glad of that. Pardon me. So yeah, see you around.